The courtroom fell silent the moment the billionaire's lawyer closed his briefcase and walked away. No warning, no explanation, just abandonment. And as cameras flashed and reporters whispered, a trembling woman in an orange defendant's uniform realized she was completely alone until a janitor stepped forward and said 5 words that would shock the entire nation. "I will defend her." No one knew then that this moment would destroy reputations, expose betrayal worth billions, and turn a forgotten single father into the man who changed justice forever. Marcus Hale had learned long ago that life rarely gives second chances. At 38, he pushed a cleaning cart through marble hallways every night after courthouse staff went home. To most people, he was invisible, just another janitor wiping fingerprints from doors touched by powerful hands. But Marcus wasn't always invisible. Years ago, he had studied law at night while working construction during the day. Dreams of becoming an attorney burned inside him until his wife died suddenly, leaving him alone with their 5-year-old daughter, Lily. Survival replaced ambition. Tuition bills turned into grocery bills. Law books gathered dust, so Marcus cleaned courtrooms instead of arguing inside them. That morning, he was polishing benches when chaos erupted. Elena Voss, tech billionaire, philanthropist, and one of the most powerful women in the country, sat crying at the defense table. Accused of massive financial fraud, insider trading, and embezzlement, she faced decades in prison. The media had already declared her guilty. Her own company had turned against her. And now, even worse, her elite lawyer, hired for millions, whispered something cold before abandoning her case minutes before trial. "I can't win this," the lawyer muttered before leaving. Gasps filled the courtroom. Elena's hands shook violently. Vaisino's hands shook violently. "You can't leave me, please," but he didn't look back. The judge prepared to postpone proceedings when Marcus noticed something others didn't. Panic mixed with confusion in Elena's eyes. Not guilt. Fear. Real fear. He remembered that look from witnesses who were innocent but powerless. Without thinking, Marcus stepped forward. Security moved instantly. "Sir, step back." But Marcus spoke louder than he ever had in his life. "I will defend her." Laughter echoed across the courtroom. A janitor defending a billionaire? The judge adjusted his glasses. "Oh, do you even possess legal qualifications?" Marcus swallowed hard. "I completed law school. I never took the bar exam because life happened. But I know this case is wrong." Elena looked up at him through tears, confused, desperate, searching. "Oh, why would you help me?" she whispered. Marcus hesitated. Because he recognized injustice. Because once, no one stood up for his wife during a medical negligence case they couldn't afford to fight. Because his daughter deserved to grow up believing courage mattered more than status. The judge nearly dismissed him until Elena spoke. "Your Honor, everyone else already gave up on me." She turned toward Marcus, but he didn't. Against logic, against tradition, and against every expectation, temporary permission was granted under emergency representation rules. And just like that, a janitor became the only man standing between a billionaire and prison. Marcus didn't yet realize the truth waiting inside the evidence files, or that powerful people were watching him very closely. Because Elena Voss wasn't just accused, she was being silenced, and Marcus had just painted a target on his back. 3 nights later, Marcus returned home to find his apartment door open and his daughter missing. On the kitchen table sat a single message, a "stop defending her," or "next time she doesn't come back." That was the moment Marcus understood. This trial was never about money. It was about power, and someone was willing to destroy innocent lives to keep the truth buried. Marcus's hands trembled as panic clawed through his chest. "Oh, Lily!" he shouted, running through the apartment. Then he heard giggling from the hallway staircase. His daughter appeared holding ice cream, led by an elderly neighbor who explained she'd taken Lily downstairs when strangers were knocking earlier. Relief nearly broke him, but the warning was real. Someone knew where he lived. That night, Marcus studied Elena's financial records until sunrise. Hidden between thousands of transactions was a pattern. Funds transferred using her authorization codes while she was overseas at charity missions. Someone inside her company had framed her. During the next hearing, Marcus stood before elite prosecutors armed with confidence built from sleepless nights and desperate determination. They mocked him openly. A janitor playing lawyer. One prosecutor sneered. Marcus ignored them. Instead, he called an unexpected witness, Elena's former cybersecurity chief. Under questioning, cracks appeared. Server access logs had been altered, security timestamps rewritten. And then Marcus revealed the final piece. Surveillance footage showing Elena's own business partner accessing restricted systems hours before the fraudulent transfers. The courtroom erupted. Elena's partner, the man positioned to inherit control if she went to prison, turned pale. The truth unfolded rapidly. He had orchestrated the fraud, bribed board members, manipulated media narratives, and pressured Elena's lawyer to abandon her so she would stand defenseless. Marcus's voice shook but never broke. "You didn't just try to steal her company," he said quietly. "You tried to erase her." Silence followed. The verdict came days later. Not guilty. Elena Voss collapsed into tears as freedom returned to her life. Outside the courthouse, reporters chased Marcus. Why risk everything for someone you didn't know? Marcus looked toward Lily, holding his hand. Because justice shouldn't depend on how much money you have. Weeks later, Elena visited Marcus at night while he cleaned the same courtroom floor. "You saved my life," she said. Marcus smiled gently. "You saved mine too." She funded his bar certification, but more importantly, she established a foundation providing legal defense for people abandoned by the system. Marcus Hale officially became an attorney, not the richest, not the most famous, but the one people called when hope disappeared. And every time he stepped into court, he remembered the day courage spoke louder than status. The day a janitor stood up and said, "I will defend her." Because sometimes heroes don't wear suits, sometimes they carry cleaning carts and change the world anyway.